Last week, a man and a woman, both in their early 20s, were assassinated after denouncing the Mexican drug cartels on the internet. This is the first case of its kind in a country where the web has become one of the rare places where citizens can still discuss drug cartel activities without having to fear the consequences. This double murder serves as a brutal warning to all those web users who have commented on or criticised the drug cartels, starting with all the blogs which have emerged online over the past few years, specifically to provide information on or denounce the drug trafficking in Mexico, two of the most prominent being El Blog del Narco and Frontera al Rojo Vivo. Both of these sites were targeted in messages left by the drug traffickers, written on signs and placed next to the victims' dead bodies. The traffickers are saying that from now on, they will kill anyone contributing to these two blogs. Traditional media outlets do not talk about the cartels as they fear the reprisals, and so websites have gradually taken over the role of informing Mexicans. These citizen initiatives sometimes constitute veritable drug trafficking encyclopedias. Wikinarco, for example, provides articles as well as statistics on Mexico's crime rates. It also encourages web users to anonymously report any crimes they may have witnessed. Several city councils are also urging web users to do the same via Twitter. Reynosa, Monterrey and also Veracruz, for example, have set up threads for their residents on the microblogging site. And in the meantime, as Robert Beckhusen states in this article published on the Wired website, this double murder suggests that the violence in Mexico has now reached a whole new level. He's concerned to see that the Mexican drug cartels are now targeting anonymous bloggers in the same way they're gone after journalists and the police. The international community can no longer sit back and do nothing as 7 months on, the repression continues in Yemen. Protesters need help from the rest of the world. This is basically the message Yemeni activists are hoping to get across, and they're calling upon web users the world over to join their fight for freedom by taking part in rallies on the 24th of September. The appeal has been widely relayed online. Messages of support for the people of Yemen have poured onto social networks and on Twitter in particular, where microbloggers have been following #SupportYemen to denounce the repression inflicted on opponents of President Saleh. Web users have been saying that the international community must intervene and can no longer ignore the deadly violence in the country. The person behind this music video has chosen to pay tribute to the men and women playing an active role in the Yemeni revolution. The video praises them for continuing their peaceful protests despite the brutal suppression they face. Some have been sharing their experiences online. Dozens of amateur videos like these ones filmed in Tez or in the capital Sana'a have been posted online recently, showing the security forces breaking up protests. They show soldiers loyal to President Saleh fire water cannons, tear gas and even live ammunition at demonstrators. A Chinese blogger has raised questions about the corruption amongst highly placed Chinese officials after spotting them wearing luxury wristwatches. Over the past few weeks, a web user who goes under the name Daniel Wu has been posting photos of the senior officials online, stating the brand and value of the watches they're wearing. Zhu Wenzhang, vice president of the China National School of Administration, has been snapped with what appears to be a Piaget watch estimated at 100,000 yuan, that's over 11,000 euros. In China, this is more or less equivalent to the annual salary for an official of ministerial rank. Daniel Wu started his investigation after looking at images from July's Wenzhou rail disaster. He noticed the railway minister Sheng Guangzhou was wearing an expensive Rolex. The cyber activist went on to discover that the minister owned an entire collection of watches and had been photographed wearing them for a number of public appearances. The web user used an image search engine to carry out his investigation using keywords like party secretary or governor or head of department. Whenever the photo featured a watch, he would try and identify it either through advanced online searches or by looking in actual jewelry shops. His revelations received considerable online coverage, but in no time at all his account was blocked on Weibo, which is China's equivalent to Twitter. The authorities are currently reinforcing their control over this microblogging platform, which is becoming increasingly popular with civil society, both as a campaigning tool and to denounce abuses of power. A remake of the famous George Lucas film The Empire Strikes Back, with cats taking on the main roles. In this clip, we see two kittens battle it out in a scene reminiscent of a Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader confrontation. This short film will appeal to both Star Wars enthusiasts and cat lovers.